Hey, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? This is Jackie, and this is from Jay's View. I am here to discuss Married at First Sight. This is season 20, episode 1. We're going to be doing Married at First Sight. The episode starts out with, it looks like a bachelor party where we're getting to meet the contestants or the individuals for the season. We meet, it's based out of Seattle, Washington this year, and we're going to meet the following couples or individuals that will be married at first sight. We have the guys. We have Felipe, he's 29, he's a restaurant manager. Adam, he's 31, he's a data analyst. Devin, who's 27 and is a professional rugby player. Mecca, who's 28, who's a sanitation worker. We also have Sean, he's going to be 48. He's a college VP of administration. Nick, 31, product manager. Cameron, 37, and he's a college basketball coach. We also saw at the bachelorette party, all the ladies that are going to be here, all the names weren't put on the screen, so I'm assuming they will have the rest of them on the next 2 episodes. But we had Marissa, she's 30, she's a program manager. Nikki, she's 46, she's an HR leader. Tori is 32, and she's a senior marketing manager. Belle Jolie is 28. She's a singer and songwriter. Courtney is 28, and she's a program manager. Now, as this episode starts out, we have Felipe. He says he's a hard worker and he parties a lot. Based off our initial interactions with him, it seems like he's really is a party dude, and I don't know how this marriage is going to work for him, being as he's always trying to be out partying all times of the night. So we're going to see how it goes. But he also says that he brings his dates back to his restaurant, which of course he owns, is his restaurant. And from what he was saying, he has not always looked as good as he looks now. He got his teeth fixed and other things fixed, and it seems like once he got those things fixed, it built up his self-esteem. So he was out there doing more stuff, or probably interacting with more ladies than he was normally able to interact with before he did all this. But he said he doesn't hit on his customers, but they can hit on him. But okay. He also says he has, because he was asking the other guys, have they ever cheated? Most of the guys, from what I can recall, said no, they had never cheated. He said he didn't remember that he had cheated until it came up like 2 years ago. But at the end of the day, how would you know that you didn't cheat? Come on now. Who don't know? If you cheating, you cheating. You know you cheat. So I don't know about Felipe. I don't know. I don't know about you, Felipe. We don't know. We see where Nick, he said that if he had to pick who would have the most issues in their marriage, he would say that it would be Felipe. Based off initial impressions, I can see that. But Felipe says he would not cheat on his wife. We also saw where Adam showed where he can play the piano. Adam can do a lot of stuff. But from what I saw, all of the guys, they looked nice, and all the ladies were extremely beautiful. So we're going to see how this situation goes. Now, the first 2 couples that we end up seeing getting paired together, is going to be Adam and Marissa. Um, now, with the counselors and therapists, that the matchmakers that were doing the matchmaking, they made Adam call his casual fling that he was dealing with to let them know that he had been accepted on Married at First Sight. So he was getting ready to get married. So he wasn't going to be able to see her anymore. So he did that. Of course, the lady was a little upset. I guess she had more feelings for him in the situation than he actually had for her. But, he ended it, and they told him that they had a match for him. They bought the match that he had, felt like he needed to be an animal person, which they both wanted to be wanted their partner to be animal people. Marissa says she's allergic to cats, but she would take allergy pill for the right guy, but she loves dogs. And with Adam, he just said that they had to be an animal person, which of course she is. So that works out for him. We found out that Adam's parents won't make it to the wedding because they're in Iceland. His sister thinks it's crazy, so she won't be coming to the wedding. I think it's crazy too, but hey, it ain't got nothing to do with me. They sent each other gifts prior to the wedding. Marissa receives a pickleball ski mask, and she's trying to determine what this is telling her about her future husband. And she ascertains, her and for her friends, that he at least has a boat. She figured he has a boat. Adam receives a book because a book with blank pages outside of the first page, where she writes him a note where she's telling him that she loves to read and all the different things that she's some of the different things that she's interested in. So that's it for Adam and Marissa for now. The next couple that gets paired together is Tori and Felipe. Of course, Felipe is a Brazilian, so I guess that's where all the partying and flirting and all the stuff that he's doing come from. I don't know. These are me and my assumptions, because Tori lets us know that she loves box along with a lot of other things. These people are very active from what I see. Felipe said he likes feminine, girly girls. And she says she is very girly. She wants her man to be the man. So we're going to, take care of the household, take care of everything. So we're going to see how this plays out. Tori says she likes to explore new restaurants. I don't know if that's, I don't know. I think he said he's into exploring stuff as well, but being that he actually owns his restaurant, I'm sure he would be open to trying other stuff. I'm sure he would. I hope. We're gonna see. Felipe says it's mandatory to accept family, so they both seem like they are very family oriented. We find out Felipe is usually, from what the matchmaker says, the few meetings that he has had with Felipe has been late to all the meetings. So because of that, he feels like he's late a lot because he tends to party a lot, which is the reason why he says he's always late. Felipe says he is a good communicator, so he wants somebody that will be able to communicate with him. And they let him know that they found him a match. He tells his parents. His parents are super excited for him. They will be at the wedding. And he says he doesn't want to be lonely anymore. So both are the parents of Felipe and Tori will be coming to the wedding to support their respective children. Next, we have the third couple that will get paired together is Belle Jolie and Mecca. Mecca was the sanitation worker, and Belle Jolie is the singer-songwriter. As a matter of fact, when she was talking, they asked her what are some of her turnoffs, and she said some of her deal breakers are people with no ambition, no drive, bad hygiene. And from what we learned about both of them, they both have multiple jobs, multiple gigs. So they're involved in a lot of things because Belle Jolie does a lot of stuff. She does a lot of stuff. And she has like 4 or 5 jobs because she does dance, she sings, she songwrites, she does choreography. She does a lot of stuff, right? Then also with Mecca, he does quite a few jobs too. They predominantly talk about him being a sanitation worker, right? But he also has various other jobs that he does as well. So he's a model and a few other things. So they both have multiple jobs in common. So they have quite a the couples that they have put together so far, they all have a lot in common. And from what I saw, they all look good together. So we're gonna see how this goes. Now with Belle Jolie and Mecca, they both came from broken homes, and neither one of them want to do the same for their potential children. They don't want to have them involved in broken homes. So they want to have a strong family unit. We start seeing the weddings. The first wedding that we will see will be Felipe and Tori. And, everybody is extremely nervous because you're getting ready to marry somebody that you don't know, you've never met. Then, they're walking down the aisle. Of course, the guys come down and they see the future wife's family, but of course they don't know anybody, so they're just like nervous. So now they're looking, they're speaking, everybody is giving this nervous laughter because literally you're for to marry a stranger. You are marrying somebody you have literally never met, but you are dependent on the matchmakers to hook you up with somebody. Hopefully that will be a match for you and that will work, for you. And when Felipe first sees Tori, he's like, wow, because, they all were beautiful brides when they came down. They did. Everybody looked good. The guys and the females, they all, and the women, they look gorgeous and very handsome at their weddings. I hope all their weddings, I hope their marriages last. I don't know. We're going to see, but I really hope they do, but we're going to see. Felipe is telling everyone that he's excited to get to know her. She thanks everybody for coming and, supporting them in their nuptials. That, of course, they thank the matchmakers and they feel like they did a great job with matching them up. But of course, we won't know until the season plays out. But they got married. They did their little kiss, hug, whatever. Same thing with Belle Jolie and Mecca. They were the second couple to get married. And they look so cute. You could tell everybody was extremely nervous. Belle Jolie says she's not, a kisser on the lips for somebody she's just met. And being as they just met, she probably gave them a peck on the cheek or whatever, which is actually what happened. Now with Mecca's father, he was kind of a jokester, I guess he was telling the son, he said something about the cheeks. I don't even remember. But he said, Kip's on the, she gives you tongue, you can get her sprung or something like that. But I don't see why anybody would have thought that they was going to get some tongue with somebody they just met. You just met these people. And literally, most people are not just going to kiss somebody on the lips or much less give them tongue for somebody they literally just met. Literally, because they're having their backs turned when the bride approaches, and then they like, well, your bride has arrived. Then the guy turns around and he sees his future wife for the first time. And then, because it's just crazy to me that, but then I guess that goes, is the same thing as the meal order brides and stuff like that, or when they have prearranged marriages. However, we're not in a culture that does that, not in America anyway. But you may have some that does, but I ain't about that. So, yeah. You getting married at first sight to somebody you've never met, then you're doing it on TV, and you don't know these people. You don't know these. Okay. The next is going to be Marissa and Adam. And, her and her friends take a shot of alcohol because, they're nervous. And I got to stop saying this. These are people that they've never met. But at the end of the day, it's people that they've never met. But she ends up sending Adam a shot of alcohol. Adam doesn't drink. He feels a little way about that because he's talking about the different reasons why he don't drink, inflammation, all kind of stuff that could cause anybody. So he don't know how he's gonna feel about a person that drinks. We're gonna see how that turns out for them. Either way it go, when they get to the altar, we don't actually see them finishing the ceremony because it actually ends with this couple. And it happens when he has his back turned. She's coming down the aisle and he turns around. And when he turns around, she's like, I know him. And I'm like, oh. So this ain't married at first sight with y'all. You know him. My question is, how do you know him? Were y'all dating? I mean, what's going on here? But that's kind of ironic that they actually got him with somebody that he already knows or that knows him. However it plays out, I don't know how it's going to play out but that's where this particular episode ends. I'm assuming the next 2 or 3 episodes, the next episode, we'll probably see the rest of the couples, and we're going to see how this season plays out. I have never personally watched Married at First Sight, but I'm going to watch it and we're going to see how this goes. It's going to be interesting to see. It is. We're going to see how it goes. But, I don't know. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. I was doing reviews and then, I took a hiatus. I've taken probably a 6-month hiatus, maybe longer. I don't know. But we're going to try this again and see how we do. And we're going to see how Married at First Sight. I'll also be doing Big Brother, Married at First Sight, and probably some other stuff because I'm trying to get back in the groove of things. So with that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And y'all have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.